guys, so as usual we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face, and I went in with my moisturizer already. I'm not gonna really talk about products in the video, but I'll show you them here or there because it helps me while I'm editing to be like, oh yeah, I gotta put that in the description box. So we're using the Origins Original Skin Matte Moisturizer with Willow Herb. And I wanted to mention this product because, okay, so I'm just going through my collection and finding different products that I haven't been using, and this is one of the moisturizers. I have tons of moisturizers that I'm not using and I'm like, eh. So this one is interesting because it's like a whipped gel texture. Whipped because it's so light and airy, so it feels like a souffle, but then gel because it's very wet like a gel would be, and it absorbs really quickly into the skin, so it's not like a cream or anything. It's more like a gel consistency. So that's what I have on to prep my skin. But like I said, we're not gonna really talk about the products. I'm just gonna indicate what I'm using because today we are talking about Love is Blind and it will take over ya. So this is a series on Netflix, and I'm sure everybody and their mama has already watched it. This is like not new news anymore. This is like old news. Like anybody who was gonna watch it probably already watched it. And if you haven't already watched it and you're interested, there are gonna be spoilers in this obviously. So you may want to catch up on the series before you kind of, you know, delve into this video. But we're doing our first episode of Fancy and Flix, or Fancy Flix. What am I calling it? Fancy and Flix. This was recommended by one of you guys during one of my lives, and I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry, but you recommended this and we're going with it. Please leave your name so we can give you full credit. I lost the comments in the live because they no longer show up, so I was trying to find your name but I couldn't find it, god damn it. But Fancy and Flix, I think we're gonna call it, right? So Love is Blind. I am going to give you just an overall premise of the show. I might not be correct on some of the minute details because I'm not writing like a thesis on this or anything. We're just talking about a series, okay? So Love is Blind is kind of a reality show around dating, and it's somewhat like a mix of Love at First Sight with 90 Day Fiancé mixed in with like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And it's just like a culmination of all these different dating reality shows, right? So the show is called Love is Blind, and the premise is to see if people can fall in love without actually seeing each other. All right, so it starts out with 30 contestants, 15 male and 15 female, and they're meant to be male-female pairings. So this doesn't really include any of the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm sure it's much easier for a controlled group if you just have one singular dynamic rather than including bisexuals, lesbians, gay men, then you have transsexuals and queer people. I'm sure it's just easier for them to be like, all right, heterosexual couples, we're just doing this. And so that's how it's working. So 15 males, 15 females, and they start out with 10 days of blind dating. And it's not blind dates where you meet in person but you're meeting for the first time. No, it's blind dates as in you're not able to see the person at all. You're in these pods, what they call pods, but they're like rooms that are adjacent to each other, and they speak through speaker systems and microphones and things that are in the room, but they speak to each other in the adjacent rooms, and they do these different pairings, but there are 15 of these people on each side, and they're just swapping around. People are just talking to each other in these rooms, and I guess you can talk for however long you want to, and then once you have met like your person or persons, depending on like who you're feeling, like you get a feel for people just through the conversations. So then once you've made that selection of your person or persons, then you focus on getting to know those people or that person in particular, right? So you do this for 10 days, and at the end of the 10 days, in order to continue with the actual show or for the experiment, because they're calling it an experiment, whatever, but in order to continue on the show, you have to propose to one of those people and they have to accept. So it could be the male proposing to the female, or even the female proposing to the male. And once these people accepted that, all right, we're gonna get married, like that's the whole thing, we're getting married, and like getting married for real. And I was like, is that what you want to do? But I guess you want to make sure the stakes are high, right? Because you want it to be like, oh my god, look what's happening. So they proceed with the rest of the show as if they're actually getting married. So the couples meet. Once they accept, they end up meeting each other, right? So they have this like dramatic meeting, like they open the doors and each of them come from the other side and they meet in the middle and they give the rings, and like it's a whole production, right? So now you see them meet each other, right? And then you see their initial reaction to each other. And let me tell you, child, it's like a whole thing, because I'm just looking at people, right? And I'm gauging them, like their body language, like Lord have mercy. Do they like each other? Like, are they surprised by how each other looks? Are they happy with the choice they made? Or are they like, what the hell is this that I pick up, right? So you see that happen. So like I said, there's 6 couples that actually end up making it past the first initial like dating part. So once they meet each other, then they're whisked away to Mexico. And they have a little mini vacation, I believe for 5 days, where they now get to spend time with each other, getting to know each other on a physical level, because now they were only talking for the first 10 days and now they get to meet, interact with each other, see if there's a physical connection as well as an emotional and mental connection. So they go to Mexico, and after the Mexico trip, they then move in together for the next 3 weeks. So they put them in like their own little apartments in the same like building complex or apartment complex with the other couples, and then they live together and meet each other's families and all that good stuff for the next 3 weeks and plan their weddings. And they go through the whole wedding shopping for wedding dresses and suits, and they set up the whole wedding, right, with the whole intention to get married after the 3 weeks, which I think all in all they were together for about 6 weeks. So between talking in the pods, going to Mexico, coming back, planning the weddings, living together, and then actually having the weddings, I think it's a total of maybe 5 to 6 weeks, right? So then once the weddings are planned, they meet at the altar and they have to make the decision of whether they're gonna say I do or I don't to each other. So that's the overall premise of it, right? So you, at the end, at the finale, you find out if they do end up getting married, like for real, because they can say no. They can get to the end and be like, you know what, no, I'm good, I'm so good, thank you so much. Or they can be like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna officially get married and like do this thing. So for this video, I'm gonna use the Violets palette from Juvia's Place, which is a purple palette, which I don't even love purples. I'm trying to get more into purples. So I'm gonna use this palette. And I think I'm gonna do like a lavender look. We're gonna see what happens with this palette. And since we're using bright light colors, I'm gonna go in with a white base. So this is from NYX. It's a Lid Lingerie Matte in the shade, what shade is this? Bad to the Bone. Oh, that's a cute name, NYX. Come through with the punny puns. So it's a white shade, so you know, white, bone, white, yeah, no, okay. Y'all get it, right? So now, like I said, there's 6 couples, and we're gonna talk about each of the couples. Let's start with the easy one. So we're gonna do Kelly and Kenny. So Kelly is the chick, and then Kenny is the dude, right? And they are, I'm gonna make the reference to their races because it kind of ties in. So because they're going with the whole Love is Blind premise, then how you look, what your sex is, what your age is shouldn't matter. So that's what they're going off of, right? So Kenny and Kelly are a white couple. And I think most of the couples are from Georgia, right? Because the whole show is, why this looks so messy? Lord have mercy, don't laugh. Don't laugh, just let me just go through this, right? Oh, one thing I should mention is that all the couples are from Georgia and they all live in Georgia, which makes sense, and it helps with everything working out, because if they do end up like actually getting married or actually dating, then they're in the same state, because heaven forbid they're from other states. Like, how is that gonna work? Like, who's gonna move for who? So they're all in the same area or relatively the same area, and so a relationship can actually work. So Kelly and Kenny, they didn't actually get introduced to us until later on in the series, because I didn't really see a ton of their dates. So we're going through the series and we see the dates in the pods, and I didn't really see them. So they just showed up and I was like, oh, who are these people? But anyway, white couple. I think Kenny was a relatively attractive white dude, and Kelly is cute. And the whole Kelly and Kenny thing, that to me was very cute, and I was here for it. And I'm like, all right, this couple actually just seems like a normal everyday couple that you would see. They have fun. When they meet in person, they seem to be attracted to each other. Kelly said Kenny was cute. Kenny said Kelly was cute. And it was all hunky-dory to me. It made sense. And then when they went to Mexico, they were always kissing, cuddling, and they seemed to be getting along, and it seemed all well. And then we get to the planning of the weddings, and they meet each other's families, and Kelly was meeting up with her friends because now they can meet up with their friends. Oh, before they didn't have their phones or anything, like in Mexico in the pods, they didn't have their phones, but once they went back to living together in the real world, then they could like meet up with their friends and family and of course have their phones back and all that stuff, right? So now Kelly was talking to her friends and talking like in the confessionals, because you know they have the individual confessionals where they tell their thoughts based on whatever the hell is going on. You know these reality shows do, like they have the little individual interviews where they're like, well, when I met him he was so cute, and then I thought, and then he said this, and that kind of thing. So she was talking about how she was attracted to guys that were completely different from Kenny, because Kenny has like dark blonde hair. He's not like a brunette or anything, and she's saying she's into brunettes, like she's into guys with darker features, still white but darker features, and Kenny really didn't fit that whole look to her. And I'm looking at her like, you ain't even that. Like, to me, out of the two of them, Kenny was the better looking one, right? And I think they're in their 20s too, and they were talking about how she always chooses like the wrong guy for her, and they always end up breaking her heart. And you know, they were hoping, like her family and her friends were saying they were hoping that finally she would this would work out, because Kenny seems like this nice guy. And I'm like, yeah, he does. But then she was talking and I'm like, hold up. This was the first moment where I was like, uh-oh, something is wrong. And the couples would talk about who was getting physical. Like when they were in Mexico, they were talking to each other, like the girls were talking and the guys were talking about who was having sex and who wasn't having sex. And the girls, all of the girls except for Kelly and then the one that we'll get into, Jessica, weren't having sex with the guys, right? And I don't see initially anything wrong with that, because you just met this person. I mean, yeah, you're engaged, but like it's not like the usual kind of setup of dating. So you're not trying to just jump into bed, like come on now. But most of the girls did, but 2 of them didn't, and Kelly was one of them that didn't. And the way they always were making out, and they were very touchy-feely, and they seemed like a couple that was like interested in each other and attracted to each other. But Kelly, for whatever reason, didn't want to have sex with Kenny. And I was like, after all this time, they still weren't having sex. But she was like, oh, he's one of the best kissers she's ever had. So I'm like, wait, what? And so when she said she wasn't attracted to him, I was like, oh, here we go, red flag, what is going on? And that's when I started to doubt some things. And she was like hesitating and going back and forth. And I really thought they would have been one of them that got married, because everything just worked. When the parents met, the parents were like talking about how they met and married pretty quickly. Both sets of parents, and they've been together forever, and the parents got along, the families got along. Like, this to me was like Perfect. Everything just comes together. What's the problem? Lo and behold, when them reach at the wedding now, and when Kenny and Kelly they up there so now, so you know them ask each person like, do you take this one, do you take this one? And Kenny, they asked Kenny first, and Kenny was like, yeah, I'll take her, I do, you know, like I'm in this. And the girl Kelly said, no, I can't do it. Said I fell out. I was like, what you mean? What you mean? She said she can't do it, brethren. She said she cannot marry him. And I just about died. I was like, Kelly, what? I thought this was for sure going to work out. She said she not really attracted to him like that, and she not really want to have sex with him, which is what I was saying. When she didn't want to have sex, I was like, something not right, because she's like, she could kiss him forever. Kissing him was so great. So then, why didn't you want to have sex with him? Because I don't know about y'all, but kissing is my kryptonite. What? If you're a good kisser, it is over for me, because that is my ultimate form of foreplay. Like, that is what gets me going, okay? Let me find, and Jamaicans, I don't know if y'all know this, Jamaicans are great kissers. The best people I've kissed are Jamaicans. Any other, like, I've dated outside my culture and I've dated outside my race, and none of them know hold a candle to Jamaicans. Jamaicans just know it, right? Jamaicans are great kissers, okay? And I've been told I'm a great kisser. Hey, so to me, like, kissing gets me going. So if you dare talk about how he's such a great kisser, but yet you don't want to, like, do the deed, then what you doing? So when she said she not married to him, I say, yes, Jesus, Father, it makes sense. But they're boring anyway. They were a cute couple, but they were boring because it was just so, it was very, not an insult, but it was very vanilla. And not vanilla because they were white, but vanilla as in it was so, like, it was so perfect. There was nothing really, like, stand out about them. Like, no one was fighting and carrying on. Like, they didn't have a fight. They didn't have a spat. Nothing. So when she said she can't marry him, I'm like, this came out of nowhere. But you could, I guess if she never have sex with him, you could have seen it. And she had, like, she was hesitating. So, Kelly not married. All right, boom. We can move on from them because they're not that exciting. I spent way too much time on them. Let's move on to Diamond and Carlton. So this was a black couple, right? And when they were talking in the pods and stuff, Carlton seemed like, oh, just talking and low-key and just really not like aggressive or anything. Not like, you know how some black men can just be all about bravado? No, he was just talking, and but all along he was mentioning that he had a secret that he had to tell her, right? So anyway, Diamond is what, like a dancer or something? That's something they tell you what their what you call it, occupation is and their ages and stuff. So they're in their 20s, and Diamond is a dancer. I mean, I remember what Carlton do, but anyway, them meet right in a, like, he proposed, they met. And you could see, like, there was some hesitation with how they met. But I chalked that up to just being black. Like, we're not gonna, like, just jump up and start kiss and carry on, like, up on first meeting. That's how I took it. But I saw some hesitation from both of them. Like, them never really seem that physically attracted to each other, right? But you're like, whatever, let's just see what happens. So now they went to Mexico, and one piece of excitement take on, because now he just completely, to me, changed. Like, how he was talking, now the bravado came out. Now he was using, like, different, like, the way he was talking, certain terms, he was just, it was just different. And I saw a different side. And Diamond was saying, hey, what's up? Like, you're acting different than you were in the pods. What's up? And eventually he was like, listen, I have something to tell you, and I feel like once I tell you, it's gonna change how you look at me and you're gonna leave me, right? So now me, you know, me excited already, right? So me mixed up already, me want wawa. And I think, did they tell us initially what it was? I think maybe we knew what it was, but we were just waiting for him to tell her. So turns out that Carlton is bisexual. And that means, she asked it too. She's like, what? So that means you've dated male and female? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. That's what bisexual means. So, she was taken aback. And you could have seen her reaction when he told her. She was like, and he just got real defensive real quick. Like, he didn't even give her a chance. Like, he was like, I knew that you wouldn't be able to accept me and all this. And like, she was like, listen, I need a minute. I need a minute. Like, why didn't you tell me this when we were talking in the pause? Like, this is something that you should tell somebody. And he's like, no, I don't have to tell nobody if I'm not comfortable and I'm not ready. And that's true. But if you're dating somebody and if you're about to like legit get married, like, you better tell somebody something like that. Like, excuse you. So now honestly, truly, I don't listen, this is how I feel. All right, wait, let me tell you what happened first. So she like took the night to like cool off. They spent the night apart because they were sharing a hotel room, but now they spent the night in separate hotel rooms, right? So now the next day, now them I talk about it, and like, he got real like aggressive with her. Like, I knew you couldn't accept it, and you're the first person, you're the only woman that is acting like this. Other women that are not even like you have accepted it, and you just come. And I'm like, he was pretty much cussing her out, saying that she should just accept it and just run with it. But she was saying that it was something that he kept from her, and he should have told her that information early on so she could have made a better decision based on that. And he's like, well, it shouldn't matter because it matters to other people. Why you're the only one that it matters to. And so I'm like, yo, regardless, that is something that you shouldn't keep from anybody. I understand that there's homophobia and biphobia out there, and I understand in the Black community we do struggle with that. But again, you're trying to build a relationship with somebody. That's something that I believe people would have to tell you up front. That's something that you should know up front, because what if you don't want to deal with that? And I know people are coming at Diamond at the end, like, people are like, oh, she's biphobic. And a little bit of that probably is in there, but at the same time, I could relate with that, because here's my thing. I am not necessarily a prude when it comes to sex, but I'm also not a very adventurous, like, explorative person. And I'm gonna listen, I'm just gonna be real with y'all right now. Like, anal sex, no, thank you very much, thank you please, no, I am not interested in anal sex. And I've said this to people and they're like, oh, grow up, you're not an adult. Like, we're big people. It's 2020. Like, get over it, sweetie. And I'm like, nah, what you're not gonna do, no, I don't want to have anal sex. I don't care. I don't want to do it, because I'm just like, first of all, the prep that goes into it, then the pain that is for sure gonna be involved, and then the awkwardness, and then I just don't want to partake, okay? So if I meet a guy and he is like all about anal sex and all these things, I ain't even gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna, so tag me out. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, I'm not gonna be able to move forward. And I've actually not spoken to people after they brought that up. Because if you're like, I already know that we're not sexually compatible. Period. And if you're the type of person, I'll give you something else. What if you're into like bondage, like BDSM? Like the whole 50 Shades of Grey. If that was me and he came to me about how he's into all of this, I'd have been like, sir, I am not available. Master slave, ooh. No, whip and chain, ooh. No, me no want it. So to me, sexuality and what you're into needs to be declared up front, so somebody can know, like, listen, Me and you not gonna be able. We're not going to. You are not the one and I am not the two. So therefore, let's tag out her right here. So I don't necessarily think it was just that, alright, she was a little biphobic because she made comments after. She used very coded language and Diamond? But so Diamond, after they were arguing and stuff, they were by the pool, she threw the ring, cause them big excitements and a big argument. No, because he's like, oh, you this, you that, you that, and them argue back and forth, and she's like, yo, just relax, I'm here, whatever. And him said, no, you know, you're what? He called her a bitch. He's like, that's why I don't mess with bitches like you. And I'm like, did you call her a bitch? She was right. She said, you ain't gonna talk to me that way. So she was storming off, but she threw a drink at him. I've never thrown a drink at a person in my life. For one, drinks are expensive. But two, I find it so disrespectful. Throwing a drink at somebody, throwing anything at anybody, or spitting? Disrespectful. She didn't spit, but she threw the drink. And to me, throwing drinks and all that stuff is almost on the same level as spitting in somebody's face. So I don't disrespect people like that. I listen, I treat people how I would want them to treat me. You're not gonna throw a drink on me, but she throw the drink on him, and one piece of excitement, she fling with it. She give him back the ring, and him fling the ring into the water, and then she walk off, right? And when she walked off, she was like cussing him out, and he was cussing her out. And he said to her, go ahead, because your wig keeps slipping. It took me all the way out. All the way. I damn near lost it. I was laughing so hard because, let me tell you, truth and in fact, the wig did look very terrible upon the people on TV. And I'm like, Lord, they make she come with the one wig. She couldn't come with two, because the wig, let me tell you, is an old wig. Because she had a center part, and like the center part had like a big missing like chunk. And I'm like, I know she ain't come on people big national TV, well, Netflix, but still she come on the people on TV with this wig, knowing that millions of people potentially are going to see her with this wig. And he said, your wig is slipping. It's been slipping since day one. It took me out. I was on the floor. I was like, what? But he ain't lie. He did not lie, because that wig was struggling. It was like, it up here, so then it down here, so then it up here. So. But the part I couldn't get over was the big missing piece of ear. Look on it. Go and go watch it and see. I was like, no, Diamond, you are represent wig wearers, black women. You need for come on better than this. And hear the thing. She thinks she hot girl too, you know. The way Diamond going like, ooh, I look the way I look, and I don't like men that always just want to come talk to me because of how I look. Am I how you look? Because you ain't that cute. She cute, but she wasn't that cute. She wasn't no like, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't out here, and the way she going on, like, she thinks that she was the hottest thing pan 2 foot. And I'm like, my girl, you're not really set proper, so you need to sit down with them. I don't like people who talk like that, you know, who's like, well, I know how I look. If you don't sit down, you are not that cute. She was not that cute. You see me, I cover my little mustache. She's not that cute. It's hyperpigmentation. Listen, I will shave a mustache. I ain't playing. All these people that are in quarantine and the eyelashes like falling out, thank God I never got into lash extensions and like the nails and stuff, because I do my nails myself with my little clip press-ons. I will link my video for press-ons. If you're really struggling with your nails right now, press-ons are the way to go. I've been doing them for over a year. My nails are damaged, yes, but I can still stay fly. And I do it myself, so I don't have to worry about nail techs, and my hair I do myself. Like, I am so happy I am self-sufficient, because I could not imagine if I had I'd be struggling. But anyway, so Diamond, I'd be struggling like Diamond wig. But Diamond, no, she said, and this is where the coded language come in, she said, watch my ass while I walk away until the next dick. Implying that he should just watch her ass until the next dick come. Like, that's a biphobic statement. Like, come on now. And then she made a statement too when they were talking how a real man would have this or a real man would have that. And I'm like, like, it could have come off differently if he didn't just tell her that he dated men and women. Because to me, she's trying to imply that he's not a real man because he's bisexual or because he's dated men. Like, it's coded language, and I can see how that comes off very biphobic, and I didn't like how she approached that, because Diamond, No, don't send them something there. I need that inner tear duct I like. But so she said that. I was like, no, girl. My girl. That was wrong. That was so wrong. Needless to say, they did not make it to the altar, and she left before the trip to Mexico was done. So they didn't even leave Mexico together. They left after that fight because she was like, nah, I'm good. I am good here. And yeah, that was that. And now we can move on to who else is left. Let's go ahead and talk about the it couple of the show. The couple that everybody is rooting for. Cameron and Lauren. So Cameron is white and Lauren is black. Lauren has never dated a white man. Cameron has, however, been in a long-term relationship with a black woman. Cameron, listen, when you watch the series, you would not expect certain things from Cameron, because Cameron is like very just low-key, just very chill. He's not excitable, like he doesn't raise his voice, he doesn't get crazy, like syrupy sweetheart, like very vanilla. Like when I tell you vanilla as hell, but come to find out Cameron has a little spice to him. I know all this, but anyway, initially he just comes off like this really, like, I don't know, all-American little goody-goody guy, and I'm like, oh, it's so cute. And Lauren, I'm rooting for Lauren because Lauren is a beautiful black woman, and she looks like she speaks very well, and she seems like she just comes from a good upbringing, a good family. She still has some, like, a little sass to her too. Like she could still pull out the hood. You can tell, right? She's one of those girls that's really can be really polished but still got that little hood flavor, and I like it. When she said she was in the pods and they were talking about cooking, and she asked him if he could cook. I think he said he could cook, and then she said she could cook, and he was like, oh, what would you cook? And she said curry chicken, and I'm like, she Jamaican? Is there somebody Jamaican? Her mama Jamaican? Who Jamaican? Who Jamaican? Somebody Jamaican up in that family somewhere along the line. Because curry chicken, like, I think Jamaicans are one of the only, if not the only island or country, well, I guess overall, that says curry chicken like that. Most people would be like chicken curry, like Indians would be like chicken curry. I think Trinis also say chicken curry, but Jamaicans say curry chicken, and she said curry chicken and rice. I was like, who Jamaican, Lauren? Who Jamaican? I know I'm an extra right now, but I was like, ooh, come on, Lauren. But Lauren really comes across as that girl that you would be friends with. Like you could go and be like twerk hood with, but then you could sit down and still have a conversation about your future and like your stock portfolio. Like she's that kind of, she give me that vibe, right? So she would be somebody that I can see in a relationship with someone like Cameron, right? Cameron is just very chill. He's an engineer, which I was like, engineer? So he's what is he into? Data analysis, robotics, stuff like that. So I was like, come on, Cameron. So they got along from the jump. Like initially they were one of the couples that just automatically connected, and he proposed, the way they made it seem is that he proposed really quickly. Oh, I wanted to try this mascara. They just made it seem like he proposed quickly and it was just a done deal from the jump. Like they didn't really interact with anyone else or want to interact with anyone else. They just wanted to be together. So anyway, now their big issue was the race thing. So they played up the race card for this, where she never dated a white man and she was afraid what her family would think, especially her father, who is very pro-black. You know when you're very pro-black and then you're all about the activism and the rights of your people and the oppression that we face in this country? Like she was saying that her father is very that, and she's very that. She's very conscious about her people. So for her, it's like, she doesn't want to be out here representing that but then dating a white man. But it's like, love is love, and if you find somebody that you can really vibe with and that understands you, like, you know what? It is what it is. So they end up together, and once they met each other, you could tell that they were automatically attracted to each other. You could see the sparks flying when they met. This mascara is actually, ooh, come on now. So this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Lash Brag. And I like how that is applied. Excuse me, I like how that's applying. if this doesn't flake, I might need to get the large size. So I ordered the little tiny size because they have a smaller size, which I actually like that ABH does this. Some of their products they offer in mini sizes, like their the dip brow gel. They have a mini size of that, and then for the mascara they have a mini size, which gives you an opportunity to try things out before dedicating to the full size. But this is a ooh, maybe I do want to get this. Excuse me. But anyway, so Sparks already there. They were having sex in Mexico. Like, it was on, right? You were cheering for this couple, and they're super sweet. Turns out that Cameron used to rap. He met her father, and her father was like really like hardcore questioning him about the race thing, like, you're white, she's black, what's gonna happen? And like Cameron just rolled with it. He's like, yo, I dated a black girl already. I was in love with this girl, long-term relationship, right? So I'm already. So I thought they were just such a great couple. I am buying this mascara full size. So they went to each other's apartments. Well, he went to her apartment, she went to his house. Like, he has a full house. Like, Cameron is a whole success story, and Lauren is doing well on her own because her family, they're in the, what would you call it, not like Hollywood scene, but like in the music scene. They produce things and whatever. So relatively successful. I just think they're a beautiful couple, and I'm rooting for them. And of course, I'll spoil it right now, they both say I do at the wedding, and it's just a success story. She even has a YouTube channel that you can check them out. I think they're cute. Cameron was rapping, like spitting bars, and I was like, oh, hey Cammy Cam. So that's where I said he has a little bit of flavor to him, but he is so like, he almost comes off a little bit too monotone. Like, he wouldn't be my type, because I'm like, yo, you look a bit too stiff. And you can even see it in the body language too sometimes. Like, they say the most perfect things to each other. They're very perfect. So I wish them the best. They're very cute, but they're the it couple of the show. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. The next couple we can talk about is Giannina and Damian. So another white couple. Giannina is South American. She's from Venezuela, right? Her family, I think is Venezuelan, but they're white. Like, it doesn't, just because you're from a country doesn't mean you can't be white. They're white, okay? So Giannina has that Hispanic flair, and she's very young, and she's an entrepreneur. She's a social media influencer somewhat, and she has her own business. So she's doing her thing, like, she's hustling as an immigrant would, right? And Damian is, what is he into? I forget, but he's still like a career-oriented dude. He's doing his thing. He actually left his job because they were like, listen, if you go away for this long to do the show, then you probably won't have a job when you come back. So he pretty much left his job to come do the show and find love. So now Giannina and him, they hit it off too. She was the one that actually proposed in the pods, which I was like, uh-oh. So you know she's Miss Strong-Minded, Independent, like, go get it, right? So she went and got her man, and when they met, you could see the instant sparks again. Like, they were definitely physically attracted to each other. And Giannina is definitely a firecracker. She is very sexual, you can tell, right? And she was saying it's been, when they went to Mexico, she's like, you know how long it's been since I had sex? And she ran off a number, and I was like, Lord of mercy, sure, well ready for somebody. So they had sex the first night, and she just couldn't wait to have sex. And like, that's her thing, is just sex. So they have a lot of sex. They are very sexual, child. So that seems to be the main thing that holds them together, is sex, because they fight non-stop. Them ever cuss. Jeez and peace. Giannina can't cuss. Poor Damian is so white, he don't know what is going on, and he seems to be from a very waspy or Anglo-Saxon type of family, just by how he was saying certain things about his family, because they were supposed to meet his family, and his family didn't want to meet Giannina. And he was saying about some political views and stuff, because they were talking about political views, because remember, Giannina is an immigrant, so she knows about the plight, and she spoke about how she was sending things back to her family and stuff. So she is very like, she's very liberal, of course, right? So now it seems that, what's his face? Damian and his family are very conservative. Mind you, I think they're straight up Republican, and I don't know how it's gonna work. It seems like his family, like definitely his parents, are very conservative, and he's like, he grew up with it, but he like might diversify or whatever. But yeah, from all them I talk, and they didn't want to be on the show, so we didn't even get to meet them. He met her family, but we never met his family. And I'm like, this shit is some listen, because I could never date a Republican. Who? Not a blood clot. So anyway, them just fight, man. Them fight. And Giannina loves to yell and carry on. And she's saying that's just how she fights. Like, that's just how they fight in her family. That's just how they communicate. And I'm like, who you talking to? I don't yell. You ain't gonna come here yelling at me. No. If we're talking, we're talking. And since she's a social media influencer, she's always on her phone, which is something he has a problem with, which that is a big deal in a relationship. Plus, she young too. I think they're like a couple of years apart. I think he's like maybe 3 or 4 to 5 years older than her, something like that, but she's young enough. She also made a comment at one point where they were arguing. She was like, oh, I lost my butterflies, and oh, remember when you said that I'm the best sex you ever had? Well, realize that I don't say the same back. And I'm like, what she trying to say? That Damian can't lay the pipe? What a thing like this? And like I said, she's very sexual, so I can see sex being a big deal for her. So one piece of something, and she makes up. When they fight, they make up by having sex. So anyway, them just a bare excitement in that. And I'm like, Damian is very chill too. So he was like, I am not about this life. She needs to stop. And then she always up on her phone, right? Because she, again, the social media thing. She's always on her phone, even when they're having conversations. And it's so disrespectful to be on your phone like that. But I also find Giannina to be pretty level-headed, even though she's like really sassy and really spicy. Even then, like, she can have a mature conversation. Like, I think, yeah, you know, she's young, but she has a decent little head on her body. She just needs to control that little spice, that little anger that she has going on. But all in all, I think they're cute. So long story short, they didn't end up getting married because he said no. So she well say yes and stuff, and he said nope, can't do it, and he walked away. Just like, whoa, what a mix up. My girl take off down the street in the wedding dress. I'll drop and bust her backside. I mean, I'm just like, why she be so extra? She run up. Mommy said the girl take off down the Georgia street, my dear. And she was crying and carrying on, and then she came back and she finally spoke to him, and he's like, listen, I'm not saying that I can't marry you given this, like, we have too many issues that we need to work out before we can think about marrying. I'm not saying it's not a future, but nah. And then in the reunion, yeah, they didn't get married, but it's come to find out they're still dating, right? So I think they're cute. I think they'll be fine, you know? And then, so we can move on from them because they're not, like, there's not much to that. But I think they're cute, and I think eventually they might end up together because it just seems like it could work if they just work through the issues with the fighting and stuff. But me not like him family. Alright, now we can move on to the 2 remaining couples, which is one piece of mix-up. So we have Jessica and Mark and Amber and Barnett, because these couples overlap. Mix up. Barnett, his real name is Matthew, but he goes by Barnett, his last name. So Barnett was the player kind of frat guy, typical all-American guy again, but more of the party type. Comes off like a party type, definite big flirt, and he ended up like having 3 girls that he was stringing along in the pod. This is where the crossover comes in, because he was stringing along Jessica, another girl named Elsie, and Amber. He chose Amber in the end, but at one point he had said to Jessica in the pods, because Jessica was like all into him, like she was so smitten with Barnett, right? So he had said to her that if he had to choose somebody, he would choose her. He would propose to her right now, right? And you know, you're in your feelings in an isolated situation like that. So he said that. And then the next day, she had asked him if they were playing like Truth or Dare or something. And she said, is it true that you still feel the same that you felt yesterday? And he was like, I don't know. She was too mad. She was too because she was ready. He had her so open. she was ready to say I do to him. So here's the thing about Jessica. Jessica is 34. Accomplished career woman. Of our own house and thing. Like, she do her thing, right? She there upon road. But Jessica, let me tell you how Jessica stay. Jessica is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, is she blue-eyed? Blue-eyed, right? Blue-eyed girl. Me no know what me do to Jessica a while ago, but the camera just dropped, like, fell on my leg. I'm sure I'm gonna get a bruise from that. But anyway, Jessica just came off as that. Oh my god, a sorority girl, woo! That's how she sounded in the pods. Because once she started talking to the guys, it's like she put on this voice, and I was like, where did this voice come from? It was this very high-pitched, typical valley girl voice. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know if she wanted to sound younger than she actually is, or I don't know why she was putting on that voice. But when she came to the confessionals, or when she was talking to the girls, she didn't have that high-pitched voice. So I'm like, why is she putting on, like, is this how she flirts? Like, is this how she approaches being girly, like, and feminine? I don't know. But she needed to stop with that high-pitched voice. But that was, I was like, ew, what is that? So anyway, Jessica, no. For Jessica, I think she was one of the oldest on the show from the contestants. All of them seem to be from 23 to like 32, and she happened to be 34. I bring this up because it's gonna play into the rest of the story. So now she fell for Barnett hard and fast, but she was also leading on another guy that she initially had a connection with as well. That guy is Mark. Mark happens to be 24, so Jessica is 10 years older than Mark. And I bring that up because that is all Jessica spoke about, was the age of Mark, like how he's 24. So even though she liked Mark, she gravitated towards Barnett because Barnett was older, and Barnett was also wasn't he an engineer too? Like, so I lied. Cameron was a scientist, Barnett was the engineer. He's in construction, so he is more established, has a career going for him, college degree and stuff. So of course Jessica gravitated more towards him because Mark is a fitness instructor, which that's not necessarily a stable career depending on where you are in it, because it can be a very lucrative career if you but he's up and coming apparently. So anyway, Jessica no say she's more into Barnett. I need a lip. Alright, I just went for a nudie lip. I'll leave the details down below. I'm giving Colored Rain some love because I was going through my collection again, and this highlight, oh yeah. So anyway, so now Jessica is more into Barnett, but Barnett happens to be like 28, so he's still younger than her, but not by as much as Mark. But again, he's more established, so obviously she's gravitating towards him. But like I said, Barnett was leading on 3 girls, so LC was like off the table. He wanted LC, but he didn't go for her, and LC I think would have been a better match for him, but he went ahead and chose Amber. Now Amber is younger than Jessica, very pretty girl as well, and when Barnett and Amber meet up, they're instant sparks again. Like, they were all over each other's sex, and they were funny. And Amber is this really goofy tomboy type of girl because she was a tank mechanic in the army, but she does odd jobs. Like, she's a career oriented, she's not very focused, she's not from a very well-off family. She is kind of what people would call working class or blue collar in the white community. Like, her neighborhood was kind of tricky. Like, when they went to her neighborhood to meet her family, like, not from a well-off family, and she is definitely spacey. Like, she doesn't have a job. She quit her job. She was homeless because she was sleeping on her friends' couches. Like, she ain't live nowhere. She not have no work. She not do nothing with her life, right? And Barnett, like I said, is an engineer. So Barnett is kind of an upgrade for her, and she was holding on to dear life because she's like, you ain't leaving me. And I'm like, that's a little intense, right? And when he met her mother was like, yeah, what do you do for a living? And he was like, yeah, he's an engineer. Well, she said he's an engineer, and she's like, oh, I just want to make sure my daughter is taken care of. And she's like, oh, well, I can take care of her myself. And I'm like, obviously you can't, because you are homeless and sleeping on people's couches. Like, what are you doing, right? And obviously he's just in a better financial state than she is. And his family is like one of those like typical all-American families again. And his brother was trying to warn him, like, don't jump into this just like this, like, make sure it's real because marriage is hard. And his brother was giving him sound advice, right? But anyway, they seem to be a pretty decent match personality wise. Like, I saw him like light up around her. He was having a lot of fun and he was just being like goofy and, you know, having a good time. But Jessica, all right, let me talk about Jessica now. Let me tie her in. So now Jessica, after getting turned down by Barnett, because now he's choosing Amber, she goes over. So she had told Mark before. Remember Mark? Mark like was ready to like propose. He was into her, and she was like, "Oh, you know, I'm still trying to feel things out. I want to know. I want to feel out my options." And Mark was like, "What, bitch? But ready for propose to what you mean?" Which he didn't say that, but you're like, I would have been like, "What?" But anyway. She told him, said she want to feel out her options. So now she went after Barnett tell her, say him no want her. She go back to Mark. No, go tell Mark, say, "Oh, you know, I'm sorry, take me back." Pretty much saying take me back because Barnett no want her no more. And Mark, Mr. Insecure, Mr. Desperate for a relationship, Mr. 24 fitness instructor, really proposed to her and said, "Yeah, I have a connection." Like, what? What? First mistake. That's your first mistake, Mark. Hello, please and thanks. So now Mark and Jessica meet. Mark was of course like, "Oh my god, Jessica, she's so pretty, oh my god." And Jessica was like, "Oh, what is though Jesus me gonna pick up?" Because Mark is a little short. He's not hella short, but he a little short. And you know, some of us, we women, like a good tall man, right? Mark kind of like a shot still, so automatically I knew that he wasn't her type. She's just obviously not attracted to Mark, right? So when them go Mexico now, so everybody meets up at Mexico, and then the couples got introduced to each other. Remember, nobody saw what each other looked like except the pairs when they met up initially after they proposed to each other or whatever. They accepted the proposal, right? So now they meet up for like a little mixer. And they got to see each other and see what each other looks like. And they're like, "Oh, you're such and such. Oh, you're this and that and blah, blah, blah." So now Jessica got to take a look pan Barnett. Boy, what a piece of preke. So you know she done a look pan Barnett and I compare him to Mark, right? And she was like, "Oh my god, Barnett is so sexy. He's more my type." Barnett is tall, like brooding, like a little dark haired, like what I said, like a fraternity guy, like cute enough for a white guy. He's good looking, nice teeth. I'm a teeth person, so I'm into teeth. So his teeth, his smile, really nice. Like he seems like a fun guy. Like I'd hang out with Barnett. I wouldn't date him, but I'd hang out with him. So anyway, she say Barnett now, and this girl, this woman, like she couldn't get Barnett out of her mind. Mark was her second choice, her default, her runner-up, like not even a close second. Like he was like last resort, right? But she said yes to him. I don't know why she said yes. Like she just felt like she had to, like, I don't know, like she's 34, she thinks she has to do this. I don't know, like she think our last chance. So anyway, she took a Mark on her head. And throughout the whole time that they're in Mexico, Mark is trying to like, "Hey, yeah, we're on the same page. We're so awesome. Like, yay, I'm gonna fight for this relationship because I really want it to work because I feel that connection from the pod." And I'm like, "What connection, Mark? What connection? Jessica don't like you." And every time like he hugged Jessica or touch her, it's like she had flinch. Like they did a little, I think they went horseback riding. Like trying to build a spark, child. And then I try to create the spark from 2 pieces of wood, but the 2 pieces of wood can't catch one thing. So he's there, and Mark seems cool. Like nothing against him. He seemed okay, but he seemed like a little bit too desperate to make the relationship work. And I'm like, why are you trying so hard? Like it's not. She ain't that cute. She ain't that cute. And I'm sure he could probably do better because he's not a bad looking guy. He's not my type, but he's not a bad looking guy, right? And he has time. He's 24. So we are run down this woman here for. Jessica dwell upon is he's 24, I'm 34, we're 10 years apart. When he's 40, I'm gonna be 50. When he's 60, I'm gonna be 70, and the kids are gonna be 20, and then Lord have mercy, Jessica, calm down. She's so hung up on this age difference, right? Meanwhile, she and Barnett are good, what, 6 years apart too? Because I think he was 28. Yeah, like it's still a difference, but I guess like as far as success stories, like career paths and all that, like where you should be in life, like I guess they were more like in tune with each other. But anyway, she's just stuck on the age thing, right? And they didn't really get physical. They didn't even really kiss until like the very end of the stay in Mexico. Like, she was just flinching, my girl. So what I said, I'm going on the ass riding thing, and like they were having a picnic. He was like cuddling her, hugging her a little bit, and you could see the disdain on her face. She was just like, oh, why is he touching me? Like, ew. Like, that's how she looked, right? But you see, as soon as she get around Barnett, like them have the mixers again, and like anytime she got a chance to talk to Barnett, it was like goo goo gaga, and you could see in her eyes how in love she was with Barnett. She was just like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I think we had a real connection, and like, oh my god, like, right, well, we had. And Barnett's over here like, yeah, you cool and stuff, but Amber though, Amber, I'm happy. Like, Amber is it. Like, you could tell that Barnett was really into Amber. Like, he really was like, I like this girl, right? And Amber was like, I will break Jessica's neck. Like I said, Amber is a little rough. She's a little rough. She's from a rough little neighborhood, and she is a little tomboy. She's like, I will crack this bitch's back. Play with me. Play with me, right? And Jessica would get drunk and like make these comments and stuff, and it's just like, what the hell is wrong with Jessica? Jessica was so smitten with Barnett, and she got her heart broken, and she was trying to use Mark as the rebound, but it wasn't really happening because the ex Barnett is like in her face. That's like how it played out. Like, he was in her face, and she's like, oh, you should have given us a chance because I think I'm a better match for you than Amber, because oh my god. And she made a comment too. She made a comment like, oh, he's all sexual and playful and just all over the place with Amber, and they're just all about, you know, all over each other. But if he was with me, we would be having mature conversations, and we would be talking about like our stock portfolio and how to KonMari our houses. Like, that's how she came off. That's not what she said, but that's how it was coming off. Like, I would teach him how to fold his fitted sheets, so it, like, that's how she was carrying on. And let me tell you something, she's not a good match for Barnett, because she would have really tried to dowdy him up and try to make him old and cool like she, because with Amber, you could see he was having fun, and he was just being jovial, like enjoying life. Like, you don't have to be so stiff. And with Jessica, Jessica's stiff like a board. I don't know what does she, but you can't go, she all up a say. And then, let me tell you something what happened. So now, remember, they went to the houses and see each other at houses and apartments. When Ma go over Jessica house, Jessica have a nice house, and a big house, nice house. And she talk about, oh, she not like come home to the empty house, because when she come home, she realized that she one day, and she have one dog, and she drink wine, and you can tell she's one of those wine drinkers, right? And she drink the wine out of the glass. Next thing me know, the dog a lick out the glass of wine. She put the wine in the dog mouth, and the dog a drink the wine. Sir, where is Peter? Somebody come USPCA, somebody come get this chick. Why you giving the dog wine? Is that safe? Like, you can't give them chocolates. Like, I don't know what. I was like, and Mark was like, what? And she's like, haha, yeah, he loves wine. And I'm like, Jessica do this pan a regular with our dog. She and the dog sit down and I drink out of the same. That was nasty, first of all. Why you licking? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, Jesus Lord. I couldn't do it. But Mark has like roommates, so obviously he's living his best 24-year-old life. Like, listen, he's trying to come along, child. He's 24, leave him alone. But then Barnett has his own house, right? It's a 1-bedroom house, but it's still a house. And remember, I said Amber don't live nowhere. So Barnett couldn't even go to Amber's place because she up on somebody's couch. Amber, what kind of life y'all live? She don't even work nowhere. But Barnett has his house, and she's like, ooh, I'm moving in here. Like, she was a gold digger from the jump. She was ready. Okay, she was like, ooh, I ain't got a couch hop no more. I got a house. I got somebody who gonna take care of me. Because you hear what Amber said? Hear what Amber said. Amber said she is ready to be a stay-at-home mom. No, you just want to be a stay-at-home somebody because you don't want to work, you don't want to pay no bills. She's gonna say she's $30,000 in debt with student loans for college that she didn't even finish. Look, Barnett was like, hello? Because Barnett's like, this bitch don't know how to freaking handle her finances. And then she had one credit card that she uses for makeup purchases. So I'm like, is what she have, a Sephora or an Ulta credit card? Which one? I think an Ulta credit card she have because the Sephora one just come out. So she have a $700 limit Ulta credit card where she buy makeup on. And she don't work nowhere. Hello? And So Barnett already has like a gold digger on his hands. Like she wants to be taken care of so she don't have to do nothing. So while Barnett is going to work, Amber is sitting down planning the wedding and just like whatever. And to me, that's a big issue. To me, that should have been, and he made comments about it, but whatever, right? So them are the two. Now let me tell you what happened with them. They actually ended up getting married. They both said yes, and I was surprised because I was sure Barnett was gonna be like, nah bitch, you trying to come sponge off of me and live off of my little salary. But it looked like him really ready to take care of Jessica, boy, because he move her into the house at the reunion. He move her into the house and then move out to a new house. Him sell the house there, and him a foot the bills them. Excuse me please and thanks. Hello? Jessica, Amber, you find a work? Amber, did you find a work as yet? Are you working some? Cause you're not breed yet. You don't have a chick nor child. Are you pregnant? Are you working? If you don't, go look at work. Amber, go and look a job. Please go look a job. So anyway, Jessica and Mark. So she's playing Mark up and down, playing Mark like, I like you, I'm trying, but you know, I don't really have the physical, like I don't want to jump into having sex. And she was exhausting, okay? Exhausting. Like I said, she dwelled upon the 10-year separation and she dwelled upon that he don't have a career. Like, girl, just say you don't like him and carry on. Like, why you playing along? Just let the man go. Stop stringing him along. So end of story. They didn't end up getting married. He said yes, she said no, and story done. She going about her lonely ways because I don't even think he met her parents. I think her father left her, but she have a stepfather and a mother. Him not meet none of them. Him not meet none of her friend them. It looked like Jessica is a lonely girl, boy. She looked very, cause our friend, you know, see her with nobody. I'm like, why? Maybe that's why she said. I think that's why she said yes to Mark, because she in a desperate place. She really wants smarty boy. But she met his parents, and he's a mama's boy. He said that up front, and his mama was like, listen, age don't matter, because Jessica just feels that age don't matter to everybody, but nobody never said nothing about age, right? He's like, oh, we can emulate the relationship my parents have. Like, I really look up to my mom. I love my mom, blah, blah, blah. You remind me of my mom. And she's like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Remind me of your mother. What? Don't say that to an older woman. I can just see me trying to date. How old am I now? How the hell old am I? 37. I can see me dating a 27-year-old, 25-year-old, and he gonna be like, you remind me of my mother. Who? What? Nah, you gonna need to get out of here. You gonna need to get all the way out of here. But I'm 37, so I could technically, 27 is not bad for an age, right? 24 though? No, because to me 24, I agreed with Jessica on this. You need to be out there living your best life. You shouldn't be here trying to have kids right now at that age. Like, you should be out here, right? Trying to get your thing together, like, enjoy that. So anyway, them never get married and Jessica look lonely as hell. Anyway, upon the reunion, Cameron and Lauren are just cute as can be. And this is the thing, the show was filmed like 2 years ago. At the end of 2018, I think, right? Or in the middle of 2018. So they had to keep this secret for almost 2 years, right? And now that it came out on Netflix, now it's like they're tossed into the limelight and they had the reunion special. But they are actually married, legally married, and they've been together for over 1.5 years, going on 2 years, and they're just so cute. They're cute. I'm rooting for them. Like, I see, like, they're just a good match. Cameron is just so mellow, but with a little undercover spice, and Lauren is like classy with a little bit of hood and a little sass, so I like her as well. So they're so cute together. I wish them the best. And then you have Kelly and Kenny. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you. So Kelly's like, oh, I kind of regret what I did on the show. I really should have tried to make it work. And I tried to reach out, and Kenny's like, yo, I'm good. I am good over here. I found somebody and I'm happily in a relationship. Poor Kelly over here so look like she about to cry because she knew she made a mistake. Kenny was a good guy and Kenny was really into her, and like, I thought they were such a good couple. And Kelly over here about, oh, he doesn't have dark hair. That's what you worry about, Kelly. That's why you end up alone. When them say your friend zone man and coop on you, Lord, no, I didn't mess up myself. Good. Your friend zone man and look at you. Look at you. Sad, miserable, and looking over there like, oh, I wish I had. Girl, go ahead. I don't like you. She turned out to be somebody I don't like because Kenny was in it and you was over here playing him. I don't like you because Kenny was my friend. Go away. Go away. And then Carlton and Diamond, no, Carlton apologized to Diamond about calling her a bitch and calling her out her name, and he actually gave her the ring back. Him going to the pool to get the ring, gave her the ring back and said, oh, he hopes they can be friends. And Diamond over here like, yeah, we can be cool, but like I'm not interested in being with you, right? Because she's a little biphobic. Fine, she don't want to deal with all of that, and that's fine. That's up to people. If they don't want to deal with that, they can make that choice. Just like I don't want anybody to come and tie me up, but whatever, hopefully they can be cool on the low. And then Mark and Jessica, Mark is still single over here doing his thing. He'll be fine, but he's such a little mini celebrity now, but people looking at him like, oh, poor Mark, he's gonna get some cooch off of that, he gonna be all right. Jessica, poor old Jessica, she looks like a terrible person. She came off looking the worst in this series, right? Because all she's dwelling on how old he is or whatever, and how she did in love with Bonnet, and I tried to talk to Bonnet behind Amber, and then she was apologizing to Amber, and I think Amber actually said something to her, because Amber was like, you two-sided cutlass, like you fucking hypocrite, talking to my man, like trying to low-key, because remember, they didn't know what was going on until they watched the series with us. Like they knew their relationships, but they ain't know the little intricate little, so now Amber realized what Jessica was trying to do. She was trying to talk to Bonnet on the low, and Amber was like, yo, I'm not threatened by you, because I know you can't take my man, but here, back up, and you're a hypocrite. Don't know, you ain't right. And so Jessica apologized or whatever, but nobody cares because Jessica is still the villain in this whole thing. And Barnett is just over here like, ooh, they gonna fight? He was like, yo, he didn't come off bad at all. Like, I'm surprised because he did not play along with Jessica. He was all the way like, I'm into Amber. I'm very happy. I applaud him because Barnett was like, I am happy where I'm at. I made the decision and I'm happy with my decision. This highlight is pretty. He's like, I made my decision. I'm happy with it. I'm like going with it. And I'm with Amber. So go on by your business and try to work it out with Mark or make a decision. Don't involve me. Don't mix me and mingle me. So Barnett, good job, Barnett. And then like I said, Giannina and Damian, they actually said that they're actually in a relationship. Like they're dating. They're trying to work that out. So all in all, I wish all these couples the best. One Piece of Mix Up and Love is Blind was just really interesting, okay? It was an interesting little series. I can't wait to see season 2 because for sure they're renewing it for season 2 because it was so popular. It was so well received. But now it's kind of, after the first season, it's like, people were genuinely going onto the show together. We're gonna be a part of a reality show, but some of them were probably more open to love because they found these people on social media. They emailed them, they DM'd them. They didn't do an audition to find people. Like they genuinely just reached out to people, even on Tinder, to find out if they wanted to be a part of the show. So I thought that the way they recruited people was kind of interesting. It was different and people weren't necessarily going on it for fame. These are people who weren't seeking this out at all. The producers went out and found them. So I thought that was interesting and I can't wait to see what happens, but I feel like it's gonna be a little bit different because now people know the show and people are gonna probably chase it for fame and people are gonna play up for a reality show. And I wonder how sincere and genuine it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But for real, the first season, it's a little corny, but like still a little sweet. And there was like the reality show aspect with some drama mixed in and like the whole way they edited too, because you saw how they spliced the different clips. Like there was one point where Giannina was in the car with Damian and they were talking about meeting his family and stuff, and she was applying makeup in the car and they would jump cut to different clips. Half of the makeup on, then them jump to another clip and she have no makeup on, and then next time she apply mascara. It's like, hold on, wait, what? So you knew how they were editing like bits and pieces and putting the conversation to look like it flowed that way, but it didn't. So you're gonna have those things. Of course they're trying to make the show entertaining, but all in all, I did enjoy the show. And yeah, I'm gonna shut up now because I just talked for a really long time about the show. What do you guys think? I think all of us can agree that Lauren and Cameron, we ship them, right? They're really cute. We wish them the best. And then even Barnett and Amber, like low-key, they're cute too. But Amber need to go look at work. She need to look at work. Amber, go and get a job, please. And Barnett, do not have this woman a freeload, Panya. What? Gold digger, but she cute enough enough, but no, she need to go look her work. Jessica need to stop it. Jessica, you're too, Jessica what now, 36, probably close to my age now. Jessica, you need to get it together, baby girl. No, you need to stop it. You need to stop going. So she needs some help. Trust and believe. Mark, go and go live your life, baby. Go and go live your life and find a nice girl. You know, you're good like gold. And Giannina and Damian, I think they can work out if they like navigate some of those, how they communicate. But I think, because Giannina, even though she's like, she's still like, she's had, like, you see her having conversations, and Damian seems to be really into her, so, you know. And Kenny, have him new girlfriend. Kenny, go on through, get your thing on. And Kelly, serve you right. Serve you right. Good up. Kenny over here was so ready for you, and you let him go. Serve you right. Serve you right. And Diamond and Carlton, Carlton over here talk about him one upon season 2. Carlton, go and sit down, because I don't know how Carlton went to the, you should hear him talk in the confessionals. He's like, and you know, like, I really thought, like, him come off pitiful with the pitiful voice, and then when him a load up Diamond, him never have no problem at tell her about her wig. Carlton, go on about your business, and Diamond don't want nothing to do with it. I'm just like, Lord of mercy. But let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and go now, but I will leave links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat where you can follow me along. And until the next Fancy and Flix, which I think we're gonna talk about the Tiger King, because that's a whole, like, that is foolishness on its own. Yeah, any other series, let me know. Leave them below and we can do this. These are gonna be long videos, obviously, so let me know. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.